Nick Hijazi, the founder of the Mendez Cartel, the Natty King, the last true Natty Crusader, the one true heir to O'Hearn's Natty throne, and the president of the Natty Republic, El Presidente himself. Today's a tired one. Today I am exhausted, I'm sleep deprived, I'm not feeling great. It's one of those days. But it's one of those days that the great ones show up. And these are the days that separate the winners from the losers. Losers make excuses when they're tired, when they've got a niggling injury. They make excuses. Whatever excuse they can find not to show up, they'll find it. I'm sleep deprived. I slept 3.5 hours last night. I'm not feeling great, but I'm a winner. I'm one of the great ones. And the great ones show up no matter how they feel, whether they're sleep deprived, sick, tired. You could be as sick as a dog. If you truly want it bad enough, you will find a way to show up. I've never missed a session, never will. I've been incredibly sick. I've had glandular fever. I've had boiling hot fever. I've been on the verge. I've had injuries. I've been in the gym on crutches. You put me in a wheelchair and wheel me in here, I'd find a way. I've had all types of sickness and all types of tiredness, and you have these bad days where you're not feeling great. But guess what? You still have to show up, because there's someone else in another part of the world that is going to show up. And if you don't show up and compete, no matter how you feel, no matter where you are emotionally, no matter how bad of a mood you're in, no matter how tired and sick you are, no matter how sleep deprived you are, whether you've had 3 hours of sleep like me, 3.5 hours of sleep like me, whether you've worked all day, 16 hours straight, you still show up and put the work in. It's that simplistic, gentlemen. The great ones find a way, and I am one of the great ones. Gentlemen, before we get into back day, we're starting with weight pull-ups, by the way. Remember what I've said in the last couple of videos is that what I'm doing is I'm doing weighted pull-ups every fortnight. I'm doing deadlifts and squats now every fortnight. So I normally start with deadlifts. I'm starting with weighted pull-ups today. And the reason I'm doing that is load management. At this stage of the cut, the last 10 weeks, I've got 9 weeks and 1 day left of cutting. What I do is I alternate squats weekly. So I alternate deadlifts and squats. So 1 week I do deadlifts and squats, the other week I don't. I do deadlifts and squats every fortnight, every 2 weeks. I don't do them every week for load management, for fatigue management. You've got to be very intelligent on the back end of a cut of managing fatigue levels. And if you're doing a deadlift, if you're deadlifting and squatting every week, because there's such taxing movements, ultimately it's going to be very, very hard to sustain that over the entirety of a cut. First 16 weeks, I squatted and deadlifted every single week. Now I'm just doing it fortnightly for some load management, fatigue management, understanding my fatigue load capacity, how much fatigue I can actually handle. So I'm only squatting and deadlifting now every 2 weeks. So next week deadlifts will be back in, and I'm doing it every fortnight now. Just trying to be intelligent. And I've done that on every single cut I've ever done. Every single cut I've ever done, always on that back home straight, I always put in squats and deadlifts fortnightly. So I'm starting with weighted pull-ups. I've actually already done my first set. I got 3 reps. And I went up in weight, 35 kilo. It was tough 3 reps. So I'm going to try and do another 2 sets of 3. Before we get into that though, chaps, gentlemen, if you want to get in the greatest natural shape of your life in time for summer, join my online community, the Mendez Cartel. You have full access to all of my training and nutrition plans, and you have full access to my greatest program yet, my self-coaching guide, which will show you how to coach yourself for the rest of your life. You won't need any help. You have full access to all of the software and systems that I use to get in great shape naturally inside that program. Once you join the Mendez Cartel and get the self-coaching guide, then you literally have full access to all the software and data I use to get in great shape naturally. It's the most advanced, most valuable program yet. That single program, the self-coaching guide, has more value than all the other programs combined. Link in the description. And if you're interested to go an even further step than just joining my online community, and you actually want to take that next step and have full-on one-to-one coaching, go to my Instagram link in the description and DM me the word cartel for one-to-one coaching. All right, chaps, let's get to work. Second set of 3. First set felt very, very heavy. Let's see how the second set feels. Tough 3 reps. Ooh, really tough 3 reps. And because I haven't deadlifted first, I was thinking that was going to feel a little bit easier than it did. Because CNS-wise, yes, deadlifts work a different part of the back than weighted pull-ups. Weighted pull-ups work more of the upper lats. Deadlifts work more of the erectors and lower back. But deadlifts are so taxing on the CNS that they affect all the movements that come after. They affect your ability to neurologically push. So because I haven't done deadlifts, I thought I'd be way stronger on 35 kilo. But I got 2 sets of 5 on 32.5 kilo, and that did feel heavy last week. So I guess when you're doing, you're not doing a lot of weight, 2.5 kilo, when it comes to like 32.5 kilo is quite a big percentage of that weight. So a 2.5 kilo increase, as small as that may seem, is actually a large percentage, especially when you're not doing like crazy heavy weight. Yeah, but I'll take that. It is what it is. Do one more set of 3, keep pushing. All right, doing weighted pull-ups, back off set now. Doing a back off set for weighted pull-ups now. Done 3 sets of 3. Good, tough reps, just about got my chin over. My range of motion is improving. Those are tough though. Hopefully now the goal is try and get 4 reps, try and get 5 reps, try and build it up. My ultimate goal is to get 220s for reps. 220s for 5 would be a dream. So now doing a back off set, 3 sets of 3 on 35 kilo done. Now I'm doing, now I'm doing 20 kilo for a back off. Let's go. Turn this around. Try and get max reps to failure. And this should feel very light now. This should feel like body weight. Oh man, feeling weak today. 8 reps. Man, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'll try and do another set on 20 keys. Not feeling strong today. It's one of those days. It is what it is. We keep pushing. We keep trying. Days like that happen, and you got to keep going. It's that simple. All right, 5 plate T-bars up next. I did like 7 sets of weight pull-ups, just long. I basically did 3 sets of 3 on 35 kilo, 2 sets of 8 on 20 kilo. Then I did a drop set. So I did 20 kilo weighted pull-ups to failure, then into body weight to failure, then into banded to failure. Then that was my drop set. Then I did a 7th set, just body weight on its own, got 14 reps. So let's go. I'm gonna do 3 sets here. Raw thickness and size comes from these 5 plate T-bars. Let's go. Come on now. Bit of a heavy kind of cheat set. Range of motion could be in a touch better, but that's how those heavy sets look, a little bit dirty sometimes. That builds the back like crazy. You know what the ladies call me, right? El Capitano. All right, we're doing a cable row now. A kind of V-shaped neutral grip cable row, V-shaped neutral grip. Absolutely butchered my back. 7 sets of weighted pull-ups, 6 sets of T-bar rows. I've done the main bulk of the workout, the heavy stuff, the heavy pull-down movement, which is the weighted pull-ups, and the heavy row movement, which is the T-bar row. Got that out of the way. That's the mass building stuff. Now this is kind of the accessory. Next 3 exercises are accessories, really shaping that back. So let's go. We're doing a V-handle, V-shaped neutral grip. Let's go. 2nd set, 3 sets here. Great movement. Tough set. Consistency. Just every day, getting better. Whew. I'm going back to some traditional lat pull down, traditional double overhand lat pull down now. I haven't done traditional double overhand lat pull down in a long time, but it's always good to go back to those traditionals. Summer's coming, gentlemen. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Day by day. This summer, we're going to find out who's put the work in and who hasn't. Since the 8th of January, when my cut started, I've been putting in work day after day, because you don't build a summer body in a few weeks. You know, it takes months upon months, years of consistency. You've got to plan ahead. 8th of January, when I started my cut, I knew summer was coming. We're now into May. I've done the work. I've still got lots of work to do, but I prepared. And each and every day since the 8th of January, I've been doing everything I can to get in shape. We're going to find out this summer who's done the work and who hasn't. All right, let's go. Second set. This is kind of like a heavy set of 8. Always going that extra mile on every set. A little bit extra, an extra partial, an extra second of squeeze. Everything you can. Squeeze everything out of every set that you possibly can. That's how you achieve maximal growth. All right, we're going to finish with a kneeling unilateral cable pull down as a nice little finisher. I'm pretty sure I've done this exercise before. I'm not sure I have. I'm pretty sure I have, though. I've done pretty much every exercise. I'm pretty sure I've done this movement before. But it's a great finisher. It is actually one of those. It is one of those gay powerlifting movements, though. So don't put me in that crowd. It is one of those powerlifting movements that you see all these powerlifters do. Don't put me in the gay powerlifting crowd. But it is one of those It's a unilateral. You get a really good squeeze. It's a nice finisher. All right, let's go. Go a little heavier. Oof. Oof. Try and get in a solid 10. Really squeeze, pause at the bottom. Wow. All right, other side. I'm absolutely exhausted. Let's go. Let's finish strong. I'm exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted. Another day in the yard. Hard work, dedication, consistency. Sleep deprived. Show up even on your worst day. I've said that many times in many videos. You got to show up even on your worst day. Because in all likelihood, the majority of the time, you're not going to feel 100%. There's going to be something off. There's going to be something on your mind. There's going to be something in the outside world that has put you in a bad mood. There's always going to be adverse circumstances you've got to deal with. If you can't deal with adversity, and you can only show up when you feel 100%, you're never going to get in shape because you're never going to show up because you're rarely ever, there's rarely ever going to be a session where you don't deal with adversity in some sort. 1 out of 10 sessions, you might have a perfect session. A lot of the time, you're crawling in rubbish, you're crawling through the sewers, and you've got to turn dirt into gold. And that's what I did today. In a sleep-deprived session, I turned dirt into gold. All right, gentlemen. Nick Hajazi, the founder of the Mendez Cartel, the Natty King, the last true Natty Crusader, the one true heir to O'Hearn's Natty throne, and the president of the Natty Republic, El Presidente. Subscribe to this channel, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, join the Mendez Cartel, link in the description. If you're interested in one-to-one coaching, go to my Instagram and DM me the word cartel. And as always, chaps, long live King Charles III and God bless Sir Winston Churchill.